what was the? Did you lose a bet or what happened?
Well, I don't, my oldest was sick. I was home one day with her, and I was just bored and took a shower, and my beard was itchy, so I decided to cut it off.
Yeah, I've been there. I've been there several times where it's like, you know what? Why am I having a hot itchy face voluntarily? That's stupid.
Yeah. Well, once you've had a beard for a decade, there really is no reason to get rid of it besides arbitrarily. So one of those days, you just have to grip it and rip it.
Your face has a farmer's tan, all where the beard was.
Oh, it was horrible underneath when I shaved it off. There was like a angry red mark in the shape of my fingers, like looked like a fucking Uruk-hai from Lord of the Rings or whatever. And it was raw and peeling for like a solid week. It was disgusting.
So maybe it's for the best. Maybe maybe for the best that you returned your face to the sun before.
One of my customers, this old black man, came in. He's like, "You shaved your beard." I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "You look fat." I respect him for telling the truth.
Well, it looks like that's the end of your loyalty discount, sir.
Well, I do have a lot of discretion in who I help and to what degree, but I've never tried to help this guy. He's just really good at imposing on me. Every time I talk to him, I'm trying to give him a brush off, but it never works.
Ain't it the worst? What up, Lou? Lou in the chat. Oh, Lou came to take his lumps like a man.
Yes, indeed.
He came to get lumped up, as Koala would say. Okay, so
whoever loses the review has to carry a bag of cat litter.
Ben put together one hell of a template here for us for digesting FIDD year-over-year league business, league doings, and I'm trying to get caught up because he has ranked the teams by position, and also he's got it set up to where it automatically dumps into like a cumulative score. Lower the score, the better. So he's got actually boards and Bronc as like a dead heat in terms of just raw present day roster value, which is kind of cool. I've got the quarterbacks done. Should we stop and let's stop and take a look at the quarterbacks. So Ben, and I think you're standing on this. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Ben liked Reish's quarterbacks the best.
Where am I at on QB? Yeah. Herbert, Stroud. I'm a young fan, and I have obviously negative faith in Aaron Rodgers. So I'll buy the Jordan Travis narrative enough to get him there. It was tough, but yeah, I think Herbert Stroud is a really solid top combo. Herbert's fallen way too far out of favor, in my opinion.
I bumped him down to 3, but that may be overly punitive. I've got Boards' Burrow, Love, May, Carr set at 2. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with that. I really like Love's touchdown upside going forward. Not that I don't like Stroud's, but for me, like Love Stroud is closer to parity than it probably is for a lot of people. And then Burrow versus Herbert, certainly in fantasy, you have to like Burrow's per game fantasy production, upside, because the Chargers they're shouting from the mountaintops, we're going to run the dick off the ball. So yeah,
it's true.
Between that and May Carr versus Young Travis, yeah, I got to give it to Boards. Boards wins out there for me. And then Josh Allen, T-Law, Levis Nix. There's a lot of Josh Allen is the best player in fantasy at the position that matters. So yeah, I got to give 24 the top honors there. We're in agreement that Sanj, who did the Charles Manson family dinner to his quarterback room in F1 before I kicked him out, has pretty good quarterbacks here. That's a nice. Yeah. Although he's still with Ritter, you got to stay away from Ritter. Sanj.
He wishes he had AR and Minshew still, but let's see. He got a first and Rambo for AR, and Minshew. He gave Minshew, a first, and a second to get Diggs, Chubb, Mooney, and a second. So
Was this
pretty
a
good.
3-team trade? I I
It
remember
could be. It could be.
I remember Bronc agonizing over this trade and asking me if he should do it, and I said, yeah, sure, do it. And
I tried going through and like figuring out the trades from the front end, and it didn't make any sense at all. So basically, I made a note of the players in red are players that were cut, the players in blue are players that were added, and then after I finished, I just went through and I was like, was this player who was cut worth a damn? Let's see what the trade looked like. Was this player who was acquired worth a damn? Let's see what the trade looked like. So it's not a 100% trade list or anything.
word.
Word.
All right, so yeah, we're in agreement on Lamar Dak as the number 4 quarterback situation in the league. Pack's 2E. Now we're pretty far apart on Pack. You like him at number 5 with Tua, Purdy, Geno. I bumped him all the way down to 8.
Yeah, who'd you put at 5?
At 5, I put
Caleb Murray. Yeah, I thought about it.
Yeah.
I thought about it for sure. It's just, the Geno there helps a lot. I mean, because Mets just Keith's got no backups, no depth at the position at all.
Yeah, it's pretty punitive toward Tua and Purdy because, I mean, obviously the knock on them is their system quarterbacks, and I'm knocking them pretty hard for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, maybe you're a little too generous. I'm a little too pessimistic. So the truth is probably somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, it was really, really tough in this range to parse them out because everybody's got multiple guys, and everybody's guys are like in the top 10 or flirting with the top 10.
Bronc, I put at 6. Who'd I have at 5?
That's Keith.
Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah, but I had Bronc at 6, which I think, I'm going to stick with, even though I really like AR. Yeah, Caleb Murray versus AR Cousins. I'm going to stick with that. And then Alex's Hurts, McCarthy, Howell. I like that a little bit more than you do. And then...
Yeah, really close there. Again, you're just splitting hairs. McCarthy is like a prove it, but Howell and Rattler, even though neither is a starter, it's great depth.
You knocked Lou pretty hard for not having a second quarterback at all.
Way too savage there. I had really struggled with that, but he literally has no one.
Well, yeah, he's got definitely a junk drawer situation going on there. AOC could absolutely find his way into starts in 2024. He might start 0 games, but it's possible. Cousins is, an old white guy coming back from an Achilles injury. Wouldn't be the most shocking thing in the world if Penix found starts. T-Law got the shit beat out of him last year, and the Jaguars didn't really fix the O-line. Mac Jones might find starts. So he's got some scumbags that he could squeeze like a half dozen to even a dozen starts out of here. And he's got the backup to Mahomes, so with Wentz there, so he's well fortified. And yeah, for quarterback, like if you have a top 6 guy, that should matter, and Mahomes obviously is definitely that. Yeah, and then the from here on out, the quarterbacks are just terrible. I can't believe how bad BM Hunter's quarterbacks are. BM, sorry man, I know you're sharp, I know you know what you're doing, but these quarterbacks are rough, buddy.
Dude, what a bad break, because he didn't even trade anyone away or lose anything. He drafted Rodgers and Fields thinking that he had the golden ticket, and man, did that go badly. And then you just he just threw every Band-Aid he could reach for at it. Jameis, DeVito, Browning, Rudolph, Oof. Mike White, Badgett. So,
I mean, he got starts out of 3 of those guys. So yeah.
Let's see, where'd he end up on the season? He finished 4th.
He had the best record. He went 12-2. He had the best.
Yeah, so he did a good job slapping it together, but it's not looking good going into this year. He needs to acquire some QB meat.
I mean, yeah, unless Fields can pull off an upset and win the job, and even then, you're only barely you're only barely on the right side of the precipice.
Yeah, it does not get much thinner than that.
Yeah, this is the worst situation in the league. Solidly. He's got no foundational pieces going on at all right now.
Hey, what do you think about Mets? Give me your skinny on Mets, because we're 2 spots apart on her. And Jaden Daniels is someone we've been talking about in the chat a bunch lately.
Yeah, Daniels scares the shit out of me. You take him as a set it and forget it type of at a set it and forget it type of price point, and I just am not there with it. So yeah, I've got a definite bone to pick with Daniels in terms of what his dynasty value is right now. But Goff is solid. Goff is he's Tua, he's Purdy, which nothing wrong with that. But he is also absolutely maxed out at this point. So you could probably argue that he should be 8 or 9, but yeah, I just the Jaden situation scares the shit out of me.
He also gave away T-Law and Young. Let's see, he sold T-Law and the 24 second for Keaton Mitchell, Savage, and a 24 first. So that not a great deal. The 1-2 pick swap and T-Law for Keaton Mitchell, basically. And then he sold Goff, or no, he sold Young. Yeah, he sold JT, Isaiah Likely, Bryce Young, and a 24 fourth for Goff, 2 firsts and a second in 2025. Definitely the picks is what is holding this roster together. He's going to be interesting to see this time next year.
We don't like it, obviously, because what are you playing to win miles down the road for in a free league? But he that is his plan. So we do kind of have to soften what we see on the roster right now, because he's playing for the future. So
yeah. Do you want to run through our quarterbacks real quick? If you look over on the right, you can see them. I've got Rish at number 1, 24 at number 2, Boards at number 3, Sanj at 4, Pack at 5, Keith at 6, Bronc at 7, Alex at 8, Metz at 9, Decline at 10, Lou at 11, and the lowly BM Hunter all the way down at the bottom with his late QB gamble that didn't go well.
No, it did not. QB rank. Okay, yeah. And yeah, I've got I could not resist Josh Allen and the Levis Nicks upside at 1, but Boards and Reish are Boards and Reish quarterback rooms. You could argue for any one of them at the top. I just personal preference. And then Sanj, I think we can agree with Dak and Lamar is pretty clearly kind of on a tier of his own between the top 3 and the rest of the field. Caleb and Kyler for me gets Keith to 5 and gets him awfully close to 4. If Caleb were coming out of his rookie season instead of heading into it, I might even have him at 4. Bronc's AR grab, getting out of Stroud for AR. It probably felt pretty shitty after AR went down for the season. But looking ahead, I mean, AR ran for 3 touchdowns. He had 7 total touchdowns in whatever it was, 3.25 games. So I'm very bullish on AR, at least from a per game standpoint. Who knows if we get 17 games, 12 games. And then it kind of peters out from there. Let's look at the running backs. Let me finish, or mostly finish the running backs. Because
we can walk our way through it as we go.
Yeah, it was
at number 1. I had Boards with Gibbs, Achane, ETN, Zamir. Really high quality depth, a crap load of touches and receptions.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna move Boards up to 1. I'm gonna agree with you, because I like CMC Kyron, but obviously Kyron makes me uncomfortable, and CMC's on borrowed time. So yeah, his blue chip young talent is pretty undeniable. So yeah, it needs to be Boards at number 1. You're right.
Yeah, and Najee, I'm really high on this year. I do think he's going to get just drown in work, but Gibbs, I think, could be the RB1 this year. Maybe I know I'm out on a limb on that, and I'm a really big fan of Zamir. Also, if they're bolded, it means I think that they were really a steal in the startup. Boards got Zamir at 15-4.
What?
So he just picked up like 300 plus touches in the 15th round with Zamir.
I'm surprised he even had to go that early. But yeah, no, that was a smash. Yeah. All right, so we're in agreement. 1, 2 is Boards, and then Bronc. Okay, who was your 3? Oh yeah, you
My
had.
three is the young team Sanj. It's Rashad White, Isaiah Pacheco, Ramondre Stevenson, Aaron Jones. Then he's got Singletary, Chubb, Jerick McKinnon, and then it kind of degrades from there.
Yeah,
Um,
McKinnon's not
he
on my
was,
team.
yeah, Miles Sanders, Deuce Vaughn. Who the hell knows what's going to happen? And
Yeah, he's got a lot
yeah,
of
Cam
guys.
Akers, is he even in the league anymore? I guess maybe he's still a Viking. I don't know.
He's got a lot of high end flexes at running
Yeah,
back.
but not only does he have, you're right, some really strong RB2s. If this was full PPR, Rashad White would be a little bit better. Pacheco's a chief, and that's got a lot of value. Rambo, who knows what's going to happen with him? I do think Aaron Jones is going to get a lot of work in Minnesota, but
Mm.
I like the depth there a lot. That sort of won me over
He is
because
deep, but deep
that's
enough
a
to
lot of
be
value.
deep enough to be at 3 over Brees Hall, DeAndre Swift, Trey Benson, Jalen Wright, Khalil Herbert. Like Jalen Wright, Khalil Herbert, Tyler Algier, like whatever. They're all over the map. But any one of them could absolutely find a sudden surge in touches very, very easily. Jalen Wright needs a Mostert injury or a chain. Herbert needs DeAndre Swift to get hurt, and and that's a handcuff for Decline there too. Algier, like we don't know what the split is going to be. I mean, obviously we assume Bijan is going to have a bigger slice of the pie, but we don't know. And yeah, I mean Brees Hall is my RB1 in Dynasty comfortably, so that matters. That matters for me. So when his RB1 is Brees Hall and this guy's RB1 is Rashad White, that makes it a tough selling point for me.
Yeah, I'm not unaware of putting Brees Hall in the fourth place team and feeling like a dumbass. I've never been a DeAndre Swift believer, but I'm sort of coming around. Benson, we'll see. I mean,
Right.
I'm a little less excited about the potential of rookies for this year, and that's sort of the game here. Is I'm trying to focus on this season.
I will admit I love Benson. I'll be one of the first to admit he has a very low floor. He could crash out very easily. But the raw tools are very exciting. He could be like a poor man's Bijan. He could also be, I've comped him multiple times already. He could also be Deneric Prince. That would not shock me at all. So huge range of outcomes. Then at the number 4, see now I'm starting to wonder why we're so down on Lou. Why we're giving Lou so much trouble, because his running backs, Saquon Mixon, and then Blake Corum. He's speculating against Kyron in the McVay backfield. That's pretty solid, and we both have him pretty high. I'm a little more bullish than you.
Wait till we get down to wide receiver and tight end.
Okay, yeah. I know you mentioned his wide receivers are rough. All right, so
they're not. It's not terrible. It's just that this league is really pretty sharp and dialed in on wide receiver. It was very tough. There are teams at the bottom that have very good wide receivers. We'll get to it.
All right, Keith.
But I do have Lou at 5 on running backs. It's Saquon Mixon is a really, really strong one too.
Wait, who do I have at 5? Because who do you have at 5? You have
2 guys at 6. You don't have anybody at 5 yet. It looks like you're deciding between Keith and Sanj,
that's
which
right.
is Bijan, Javonte Williams, Jonathan Brooks, Laube versus Rashad White, Pacheco, Rambo, Aaron Jones, Singletary, Chubb.
Yeah, obviously Sanj kicks the shit out of Keith in the depth department, but Bijan and Brooks might be the 2 best running backs between the 2 teams. So I'm going to give it to Keith there. He's number 5.
Williams is the one, right?
What's that?
I mean, he's going to be the RB1 for the Broncos, right?
I have no idea. I really don't. Somebody's getting traded. I don't know, or Pirine might get released. It would not surprise me if Javonte Williams is not a Bronco in August. I will say that much. So to me, Bijan and Brooks are the 2 top running backs here, and then Javonte Williams, who the fuck knows? But yeah, I mean, Bijan alone carries him. I mean, I would rather, if somebody offered me Bijan for Rashad White and Isaiah Pacheco in Dynasty, I could not click accept fast enough. That is an absolute smash buy for me, just to give like some context. All right, so that gets us halfway through the running backs, and then at 7, you had BM Hunter with Josh Jacobs, James Conner, Kamara, Mostert, Zeke. I mean, it's a scumbag.
It's deep as hell.
Holy shit! It just keeps going. He's got Chuba. He's got Gibson. Damn, I might have to put this over. Yeah. I'm gonna move this ahead of Sanj. It's grody, but I really like Jacobs. I'm huge on Jacobs. I'm really into Kamara, in this new offense. I think he could have quite the swan song in New Orleans before they are forced to make him a cap casualty in the spring. And yeah, it just keeps going. Gibson has upside. McLaughlin has upside. Foreman could scumbag to his way to half dozen touchdowns.
I like Foreman in Cleveland, right?
Yeah. I mean, really, it comes down to we have no idea if Nick Chubb is even going to play football in 2024. All right, so that gets us through 7, and then at 8 you had Henry, Demont, Pollard, Ford. I like that pretty good.
Warren, Dobbins, every one of those guys could end up working.
Who do I have?
But yeah, not a lot. Not a lot. Henry's the ace. Well, I also think Henry's going to get a crap load of work this year.
Oh, I mean, man,
Baltimore, all they can do is run. All they even when they try and pass, they just run. That's part of the reason why I'm still on Herbert is because Lamar won the MVP on the team that had the fewest passing attempts in the league.
I got to move that ahead of Sanj because at the end of the day, Pack has a true RB1 in Derrick Henry who should absolutely go for 12, maybe 15 total touchdowns. Sanj doesn't have that, and that matters. So I will give that.
You just got to stand up for my boy Rashad White a little bit. The dude is
I know, but I'm very concerned. I'm concerned about the Bucs. I'm concerned about the Bucs with no Canales. I'm definitely concerned.
It's true. It's very true. That's
all right. Reish has Reish has. I think his mom maybe dated a running back after his parents got divorced, and he wasn't very nice to Reish or something because he just won't do it.
Especially after he completely did heinous plastic surgery that didn't work at all to his roster with the trades. Yeah. Like he looks like a plastic freak. And he did really, really well. Like his quarterbacks especially are baller. His wide receiver room got better. He's not great at tight end, but how do you do all that selling and all that work and come up with your RB3 is Luis Rees-Simmons?
This is just so like I get that you don't care about running back, but you do have to care you have to care two running backs worth, and he maybe has 2 running backs. But I mean, the current writing on the wall is that Hull's not even the backup, so he doesn't even have the backup to his one real running back. Yeah, I don't like this. Who's at 10? Cook, Spears, Chase Brown. All right, I'll keep Reish at 9 just on the strength of JT. You're right.
JT, right? He does have one of the top running backs in the league. So, yeah, and Gus is another guy that I feel really great about this year, getting a lot of work.
Okay.
He's healthy. He's a pounder. He knows how to find the end zone.
Oof, man, Alex's running backs are dog ugly. This is not good. And then who's at 12?
Yes, indeed.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Frank Gore.
Wow. Can I go lower than 12? I mean, Jesus Christ.
We love you, man.
He needs to be doxing points on that one. Jesus Christ. All right, so on to the receivers. All right, so, oh no. Yeah, we're in agreement. We're in agreement on a lot of these running backs.
Okay, let's go over our running backs real quick. We both have got Boards at first. We've both got Bronc at second. You've got Decline at third. I've got him at fourth. I've got Sanj at third. You have him way down at eighth. No love for the young pass-catching backs. I've got Decline at fourth. You've got him up at third. I've got Lou at fifth. You've got him up at fourth. Keith, I've got at sixth. You've got him up at fifth. Same with BM Hunter. Same with Pack. We both have Rish at ninth. We're both the same, 9 through 12. Rish, 24. Alex and Matt.
Really, the only difference is Sanj. Like we're way apart on Sanj.
We're way apart on Sanj. Yeah, I like Rashad White. Isaiah picked Jekko a lot more than you. And I don't know what the freak to think about Ramondre Stevenson, but I do like Aaron Jones this season and Singletary. I think Singletary's plays.
There is a lot of potential for that backfield to beat what I'm appraising it at right now, obviously, just because it's got so many guys that are going to see some amount of serious touches. But I don't see a ceiling guy other than maybe Rashad White, and I feel like he already hit his ceiling and is due to come back a bit.
I think he's got guys to plug into his starting spot no matter what happens. Whereas Decline, who I have in the 4, is relying on Hall and Swift. And after that, it gets into a bunch of rookie maybes and RB2s who are going to maybe give you 6 points a week if you're lucky. So just really not any depth that you can sink your teeth into for
But
decline.
Sanj might not have a top 10 running back. Like that's where I'm coming. That's where I'm at with it.
That's true, but running back isn't important is something that it exists out there, and you
Right.
do need to be able to plug into guys in the spot. He better have some great wide receivers to come up for it, and he doesn't. He doesn't.
Okay.
Spoiler alert. Okay, let's go down to wide receiver.
Speaking of, okay, so you've got a wide receiver for number one. You've got Pack, who's got
No surprise.
Lamb,
Let's
Puka,
do-
Waddle. Whew. Okay, Kirk, Reed. Okay, Jesus Christ. This is a Pack fan wide receiver crowd. All right.
Yes, he did not mess around. And I also have him where on running back, I had him at seventh. I had him at eighth. You had him at seventh. At QB, you had him at fifth. You had him at eighth. I had him at fifth. So he's not exactly smashing it here. But one thing Pac fan can do is draft wide receiver. I think we all know that.
He never stops. And I mean, yeah, my number 8 on his quarterbacks. It's you could also argue him all the way up to fifth. So
it's so close at quarterback. That's why the scoring at the top isn't really that helpful in actually writing up your final listing, because you still have to go through and be like,
Right. And
by the way, I'm gonna share this in the league chat after the chat, so you guys can look at it. You can download it. You can figure out the formulas and add your own shit to it, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, this is. I mean, I was not prepared for the level of sophistication you slapped together here. This is really good. All right, so Pac's got some killers at wide receiver. Bronc has Chase, Allen, Adams. Whoo boy, Hopkins. Okay, it starts to run out of gas pretty fast. All right, yeah, that's. Oh no, he's not even.
Hollywood.
Holy shit, that's your number 4 receivers. My bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
At number 2, I've got Keith, JJ, DJ Moore, Pittman, Lockett, Michael Wilson, Thielen, Judy,
Hold on.
Bateman.
Hold on. God damn.
Yeah, JJ, GG, and Pittman is not messing around.
Okay, hold on. This is okay. JJ, DJ, and Pittman versus Lamb, Puka, Waddle. You could call that a push. I mean, they're fighting tooth and nail there. Lockett, Kirk. I gotta give it to Pack. Wilson. Okay, yeah. So, I mean, Keith's receivers should be number 1 in the league, but because what Pack has, yeah. All right. So
yeah, it's close. It's close.
Well, it's just Packs just keep going, and after Pittman, the drop off for Keith is pretty fast. All right, Mets at 3. Holy shit.
This is the harvest of all of the blood that Mets sank into the trade market. He also has 4 2025 firsts, which is remarkable.
Yeah.
But yeah, MHJ, Neighbors, Pickens, Downs, and then he's like Wandale, Slayton, Woods, not much. Burks, the beloved Burks. But look what he gave up to get it. ARSB, D. Clay, McLaurin, and Sutton. He probably sold Sutton before Sutton decided to wake up and show the world that he still knows how to play football. But still, that hurts right there.
I got to put Bronc over Mets there. There's MHA, Neighbors, Pickens, Downs. Yeah, there's too much uncertainty for that group to be that high.
I thought about this one a whole lot. It's right. Just that Bronc is old. He doesn't have a lot of depth.
For sure.
Unless you think Gabe Davis is a legitimate rehab project.
I'm putting Reish's receivers over Bronc. Reish's receivers are ridiculous. I almost have to put him at 2. God damn, I can't get him to 2, but I think he's at 3.
JJ DJ Moore is a pretty solid ass gatekeepers there, but yeah, he has the depth for miles. Like holy jeez, ARSB, Ayuk, T Higgins, McLaurin.
He's got too many. This is stupid.
Yeah, Sutton, Dotson, Mooney, Roman Wilson, Demarcus Robinson is somebody I like. Mingo. God, jeez.
Actually, yeah, I got to bump Reach to 2 just because there's so many guys. But
can you tell me anything about these guys at the bottom? Jordan Whittington, Taylor Palmer. I don't know who any of these guys are.
I believe they are real people and not NPCs. That's.
Do you know how good I would be at this game if I had my current level of spreadsheeting and the free time of an 18-year-old?
Yeah, I mean seriously, these are guys who got. They got some slickly edited Instagram reel videos made for them, and that's why Reish made it a priority getting them.
Sure, sure. But he had a bajillion picks, so he's got to use them on somebody.
Right. All right. So, yeah, I got to put Reish at 2. And Met's at a soft 5 right now, pending what we see from 24. DK London, Addison, JSN. Oh boy. Yeah, I gotta bump. I gotta put.
But he put those rookie picks to good work. Ladd, Corley, Leggett are all guys that have a lot of hype. He's got Jawan Jennings, who is arguably one of the better wide receiver threes in the league. And then Mims is down there too. Tyler Scott. I don't believe in either of them, but if you like go route boys, they are on the list.
Yeah, in fact, I got 24 ahead of Bronc too. And I like Bronc's receivers, but god dang. All right.
Hey, what can you tell me about Justin Shorter? He's a wide receiver for the Bills, right? Is he worth a damn?
Probably not. He's a muscle boy. He's probably like poor man's Jonathan Peoples-Jones, but he's freak big, freak strong. He can't fly like DK Metcalf. Like he runs in like the 4.5s. But he wound up on IR coming out of preseason last year. I think that was the Bills kind of stashing him because they didn't want to expose him to the practice squad. So I don't think he was really hurt bad enough to be on IR. So that suggests that the Bills kind of like him, but with how many receivers they took, like it's an uphill battle for sure for him to avoid being like, on Treylon Burks special teams duty. So,
yeah.
But definitely keep an eye on him because there's so much up for grabs there.
All right, where are we at now? I think you're at my 6. So my next team is Alex, AJB, Rice, Romeo Dobbs, Tank Dell, Jamo, Shaheed, Devontae Walker, Dontavian Wicks, Kendrick Bourne. He's got Hyatt, and then some randos. Yeah. Trey Tucker, another, go route boy for the Buccaneers. We'll see.
Yeah, this is where I gotta let Mets be. Yeah, I'm gonna agree. Alex at 7 there.
Though I will say, bravo on having sold absolute garbage to get yourself there. You did not give up anybody good at wide receiver.
Oh yeah, he just cut off dead flesh. All right.
Yeah, you can afford Watson. That's a good wide receiver, especially if Rice wasn't in jeopardy. This maybe creeps up a little bit.
Okay, Decline's got Nico Evans, Flowers, Franklin Douglas. That might get him past. No, you're right. That's 8. That Alex stays ahead of that. All right, and then
this is really tough. This is a tough one. You're not gonna like this one.
Ooh, yeah.
It's loaded at the top.
Yeah.
But it is the fewest wide receivers in the league. The guy is in a 3 wide receiver, 2 flex league and has 6 wide receivers on his roster.
That's not how you want to live life, but Wilson Olave for me moves the needle. That's real horsepower at the top. And
I thought about this one a lot.
There's nothing to say that Kupp is not going to find his way to 140 targets again if he stays healthy. If.
Yeah.
And Shakir is a major. He's got some major advocates out there. So I like.
And Mike Williams has badass in his bag. It's just every time you reach in, it's injury. But you never know. Maybe this time he sticks his hand in and it comes out badass.
Man, Alex versus BM Hunter is.
His sophomore year had one of the best stretches of all time.
Yeah, I gotta stick with Alex at 7 because of the depth. He just has no depth. But this is kind of a false 8 because the top 2 can go toe to toe with just about anybody.
So good. Yeah, right. It's tough. You have to start 5 wide receivers in this league. Let's see. That's BM Hunter we're talking about, and you have him ranked 7 at what running back? I have him ranked 6. So because of his wide receiver room, Kamara, Mostert, Zeke are starters. You need that wide receiver. Yeah, man, you gotta have it.
I mean, but you can get by with that. It's tenuous.
Sure. Oh, it's true. This roster competes this season for sure.
You can get by with it. It's not pretty, but it is functional. All right.
Well, he also has the Rodgers Fields QB combo.
Oh man, Boards is in a bad way here. Pearsall helps. Pearsall's coming. but he needs Debo out of town, which then hurts him at the top because that's kind of his wide
That's
receiver
right. Unless he
one,
goes to Kansas City or Buffalo or somewhere where
Oof.
somebody's got a cannon. Oh, can you imagine Andy Reid with Debo Samuel? Holy jeez, that would be fun to watch, but only from Kansas City. Devonta is another question mark.
I might. Yeah, I'm not a Flowers fan. I do like Franklin. I'm gonna move boards ahead of Decline here. I think I'm good with that because he at least has some depth, and I don't. I mean, I like Malik Washington, but who the fuck knows?
Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of depth, Decline, and I know you're down on Zay. I'm not necessarily with you there, but I am really, really high on Evans and Nico. I think are really solid at the top end.
Yeah.
Devonta is a mystery. Yeah. Debo isn't somebody you want to put a lot of faith in. Godwin, he needs volume. And last season was kind of a down year for him, I think. Am I misremembering that?
Who's that?
I had him on some rosters. I wasn't excited about it. Godwin.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, 2023 was a sharply down year for Godwin, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna leave him there just because he's got the top end guys. But it's a heavy heart because Debo if he's healthy and if he's hot can go toe to toe with anybody. But because of like kind of the zero sum nature of him owning both Debo and Pearsall, if Pearsall's arrow starts to rise, it's likely at the expense of Debo. So,
yeah.
All right. Yeah, I gotta bump you down, board. Sorry, bud. All right, and then at 11. You've got Sanj with Diggs, Cooper. Oof, Jesus, yeah, he's got some puke boys that I don't like. Coleman. Okay.
Worthy Coleman could be interesting. I mean, I think Worthy needs the suspension for Rice to be on anyone's radar this season. And I like Diggs and Cooper a lot.
What? You've got Lou at 12 when he's got Hill and Odunze and Siwat?
It's freaking insane, man.
What?
It's really, really, really tough out here. But
I
am keeping at least an ear open to Dynasty. I love Hill. Ozune, he's the wide receiver 3 on a team that we don't know much about. And Siwat, QJ, A.T. Perry, you are just burning prayers at this point, man.
Yeah. But, I mean, Hill, though, he could be the wide
receiver.
Hill,
it's right there, right? But you got to have 5 wide receivers in this league. And he has 2. He's starting Siwat as his wide receiver 3 every week. And that could turn out great, but it probably won't. The QJ Renaissance could be huge for him if it actually happens. And I'm a big A.T. Perry fan. He's huge. He can stand in the end zone. It writes itself. But it's tough, right? How can the hell can Hill be on the worst roster in this league? You need to sell. I told him the other day, you need to sell Hill for 2 firsts, and you need to do it immediately.
Sure.
Because he's the Saquon Mixum Corum, and he's got Mahomes, Penix, Max Jones. He's got no QBs. And his tight ends are Schultz, Jonnu, Brevin Jordan. So he's got a lot of work to do. He needs to sell Hill. You need to sell Hill. You probably need to sell Saquon. And if Mixon goes off, you definitely need to sell him. This is a rebuild in my mind.
I can't believe this. Hold on. Who do I have at 9? I've got. Oh, Jesus Christ! This is like the best, worst wide receiver room in history.
I told you, no one is really terrible at wide receiver in this league. Everybody's got something going on.
I mean, Pack.
I've got freaking Olave Wilson ranked 9th.
Pack is off on his own little private island here, but
yes, he has his foot on everyone's throat at wide receiver. It's not even close.
But Reed and Kirk and even possibly Puka could give back some value relative to their 2023. God dang it, I can't.
Well, you've got Sanj over here. You're basically comparing the Diggs, Cooper, Ridley, Worthy, Coleman team to the Hill, Ozune, Siwat, QJ, A.T. Perry team.
I'm cautiously optimistic on Diggs. I'm down on Cooper just because I think the Browns are really going to go in the shitter. I'm down on Ridley. I'm super down on just the concept of Worthy in fantasy in 2024. Yeah, I'm sticking Sanj at 12. Lou does not deserve to be. I'm gonna stick Lou at 10, and I gotta bump boards down because Tyreek Hill. It's just that simple. Um,
I know, right?
but that's
But let
that's
me ask
tough.
you this. Give me. Let's hear your take on Diggs. Where are you at on Diggs right now?
I think he's gonna lead the Texans in receptions. That's what I
That
think
is
is gonna happen.
correct.
He's gonna
Yeah,
catch.
he's gonna lead the Texans in targets. There's no doubt about that in my mind. So then he will lead them in
Uh,
receptions because he's Stephon Diggs.
I don't know if there's no doubt, but yeah, he's. I
Well,
mean,
assuming everyone's healthy,
yeah.
obviously.
Well, even then, I mean, Nico Collins is a bad man, but
Yeah,
yeah,
he is. He is.
Diggs is motivated. In his mind, he gets traded there. They immediately restructure so that he can maybe get one more payday. So he's motivated. It's a good team. Yeah, I think he hits 130 targets at least, probably 140.
Yeah, Diggs, 130 has got to be his floor if he plays 17
Well,
games.
I mean, Collins Del Schultz is pretty goddamn good, is the thing. So, but yeah, no, I like Diggs as like a lower end wide receiver one. I can see it. But yeah, Cooper is just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Ridley, I've never been a believer in. And I mean, this is showing Worthy as the wide receiver four. To me,
If I would
Coleman.
say, what would you say if I said that in previous years there's been a feeling that you just buy Chiefs? Whoever the Chiefs have got, you buy them.
No.
But that's proven out to be pretty poor. But I do kind of feel that way about the Texans this year. Mixon, I'm buying him.
Oh yeah.
Noah Brown, I'll roster the guy. If
sure.
it's on the Texans, I want him.
Yeah, that's why.
Because I think their offense is going to be super productive.
I mean, Lou's running backs are not deep, but I have him at 4 just because Saquon Mixon. I believe in that 1-2.
Right.
Absolutely. Okay, so we got through the receivers.
Before we break down wide receiver, let's do a couple in the YouTube chat. Lou and Rish. Rish is trying to massage Lou for a trade after what I said about his team. And Alex said Tank in orange is a travesty. I don't believe that. I think that Tank deserves to be yellow. And just to explain the green, yellow, red, it's basically like green is a starter, yellow is maybe a starter, and red is hopefully not a starter. So it's broad swaths. They're not meant to be super specific. But where do you come out down on Tank Dell right now?
I think he's going to be third on the team in receptions.
Yeah. Too crowded, and Schultz is going to eat in the red zone too, I think.
I don't know, but somebody is, and Dell. It just wouldn't make sense for Dell to be the top dog down there. He might lead them in touchdowns that are longer than 40 yards because he's definitely got some big play chops. But like, I mean, that he's definitely Alex's wide receiver 3, and Alex is very high on him. But he's like a really, honestly, he's gonna play like a really nice Mike Williams, like best ball type play where
he's more of a best ball or DFS guy for me.
Like if they're playing a team with like a really plucky slot corner or just game script, like Dell will disappear in at least a half dozen games. So
would you agree with if Diggs and Nico Collins stay healthy and Tank Dell is a top 12 wide receiver, then the Texans are going to win like 14 games?
My problem there is that the defense is okay. It's not elite. It's just solid.
I'm just saying, if you're feeding your slot guy and you're feeding your outside guy and you're feeding the top guy, you better be winning a crap load of games.
Yeah, it's just the Colts are a real dark horse for me. They could win double-digit games, and the Texans could still win the division. But 14 games is, I mean, that's very, very tough to do.
Oh, it's far more likely to me that Tank Dell's a wide receiver 3 than that the Texans win 14 games.
Right.
I just mean in order for all 3 of those guys to hit any kind of wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, or guy you want in your wide receiver 3 spot, then the Texans have to just blow the hell out of the league. They just have to be unbelievable.
But even then, like, they could statistically, offensively, they're playing a first place schedule this year. They are going to play the Chiefs. They are going to play the Ravens. They are going to play the Bills. Like 14 is just a lot. 14, and the South isn't even a pushover. The Jaguars could have a winning record. The Titans might. I mean, the Titans probably won't win 7 games, but they could be a feisty as hell 6-11. So yeah, 14 I'm not seeing. But I take your broader point. Like, certainly, if that happens, if the Texans enact their plan offensively, which I think they're odds are that they're going to do that, then yeah, they should win 11, 12 games pretty easily, even with how strong top to bottom the AFC is. Yeah,
but that doesn't necessarily get Tank Dell to
no, yeah, I mean
where you want him to be your wide receiver 3.
Tank Dell might not catch 70 balls even if he plays 17 games. He is going to suffer from the just one football paradox.
Sure. Tank Dell is orange. Let's break down the wide receivers. We both have Pack at number 1. That's sort of a no-brainer. You put Rish at number 2 over Keith. I've got Keith at number 2. I go Metz at number 3. You've got Metz down at number 6. I've got Bronc at number 4. You've got him at number 5. I've got Rish down at number 5. You've got him up at number 2. 24, I've got at 6. You've got him up at 4. We're both at 7 on Alex. I've got Decline at 8 and BM Hunter at 9. You've got him reversed. I've got Boards at 10. You've got him at 11. I've got Sanj at 11. You've got him at 12. I've got Lou at 12. And you, on the strength of Tariq Hill being the best wide receiver of our generation, for sure, you've got him up at 10.
With the caveat that nobody's group feels like it deserves to be even outside the top 10, but wide receiver is just at critical mass in Dynasty, it seems, because goddamn.
Yeah. I mean, where did Diggs finish last season? It's crazy that the team I've got 11 and the team that you've got at 12 has Diggs and Cooper just went off big time last year.
Right. Yeah. No. There's a lot of good receivers out there, so it makes it tough.
All right, tight end's a little bit easier. What do you got? I've got. It's pretty easy for me. Alex at number 1, Bowers, Kincaid, Sinat with Chig as his tight end 4. Man, you don't even need any flexes here on this team.
Yeah, that's automatic. All right, McBride, Ferguson, Strange. Yeah, put that at 2 tentatively. Who's at 3? Laporta, Higbee.
Boards.
Yeah.
Everett.
I mean, I guess. I mean, we're talking about Laporta versus McBride, really. I know that
I do like Ferguson more than Higbee or Everett, but you're kind of splitting hairs at that point.
I'm gonna put Boards at 3 or at 2 just because Laporta's touchdown floor is pretty high. McBride could catch more balls than Laporta. Would not surprise me. But that's with when we're talking about the tight end position, we're talking about touchdowns, and Laporta's shown that he can score them. So I'm gonna give Boards 2 there.
Yeah, man, 10 touchdowns his rookie year is unbelievable.
Yeah, he was automatic right from the start.
Tight end's a little stilted too because you want one of the best tight ends in the league. You kind of have to have one of the best tight ends in the league to be the best at tight end. So number 4 for me was Bronc with Kelsey, Hunter. Nobody. Hawk, Ingram, Njoku is not bad, though. That is one of the deepest tight end rooms in the league, for sure. Did we lose your audio, Luke? There was a clattering sound, and now you're not talking.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back, baby.
All right.
Yeah, that's just too many. That's too many good guys. Hawk, Ingram, and Njoku. I know Hawk is going to miss September.
Oh, you're going to move him up over McBride.
I mean, there are 3 guys.
Well, you have an ironclad faith in Njoku.
I do.
Kind of odd, considering that you think that the rest of the Browns are going to catch on fire by week 4.
I realize I'm threading the needle there a little bit, but I got to go with my gut, and my gut says you are not putting David Njoku back, the Njoku genie back in the bottle at this point. He was too much of a volume monster down the stretch, and I just don't think I think that this is going to topple. This whole thing is going to tip over in Cleveland now. I think both can happen. I don't see why it can't.
You think they're going to go full 2023 Commanders?
I think they're going to go full 2022 Broncos. I mean,
is that still Stefanski? That's pretty cold-blooded, man.
I mean,
putting him on the same page as Nathaniel Hackett.
I mean,
that's a good way to get punched in the face in Cleveland.
Not in that sense, because obviously, like, everyone's going to know it's not Stefanski's fault. but it's just going to stop mattering. It's like the
Dude,
fact that
if
they're
they
paying.
don't win 8 games, Stefanski's fired for sure.
Oh, yeah, Stefanski's going to. I think Stefanski is going to get fired, even though he doesn't deserve it, because.
So you're going to put McBride Ferguson at 4, right?
Yes, I am. Which, I mean, not to besmirch McBride. McBride absolutely could come out of 2024 as comfortably the TE1 in Dynasty. Would not surprise me at all. But yeah, got to give Laporta his props, and Sanj has some real hitters at tight end. All right, so then 5. Oh wait, who do you have at 5? You've got somebody.
I've got Sanj at 5. You've got him
right.
at 2 with Ingram Njoku.
Okay.
You know, for me, the top 4 tight ends are just going to be the top 4 teams because that's the way it works. If Hawk was healthy, I'd like this team a lot better.
All right, I'm going to put Bronc at 5 tentatively. You've got, yeah, that's not better. 7.
Kittle, Freiermuth. End of list. Yeah. Keith at 7.
Yeah, I'll. Ugh.
What's with the Andrews hate? And he's got Ertz and my boy Otten and my boy Jelani Woods. BM Hunter definitely tailored his team to rig the vote for me. Kittle had a good year, though. Kittle's damn good.
Kelsey's age. I still believe in Kelsey, but considering how I don't think Dulcich is nobody. I don't think he's ever going to catch even 30 balls.
Not a thing. Not a thing.
Schoonmaker, if he is anything, it's not going to be for a while. There's no path. And yeah, I mean, I'm not the biggest Otten believer, but he should catch whatever 50 balls. Jelani Woods.
Yeah.
Jelani Woods season may be upon us.
It could be. We'll see if the guy can stay healthy. If he can stay healthy, he's enormous. He's got potential, but you know, that's a lot of injuries. What?
Pack has Hakeem Butler rostered in this league. What the fuck? Oh my god, that guy's literally on the St. Louis Battlehawks right now. And Pack has him rostered.
Jesus.
I want to believe that he left that there as a Easter egg for me, just to laugh at later on. Because, oh man. All right, so that's pathetic.
The top pickup in this league right now is probably CJ Beathard, Cedric Wilson, or Jalen Guyton. So.
Oh Jesus, hold on. This is.
Justin Watson's there. Mecole Hardman. Man, people are so asleep on Mecole Hardman. I can't believe this guy's on the wire.
Yeah. They're
pickups in Mecole Hardman.
They're
or
right
Richie James.
Asleep, they're right to be asleep.
He did catch the pass that won the Super Bowl.
Good for him. Oh Jesus Christ! Mets tight ends. Oh my God. Holy shit, that's terrible.
Yeah, really, really quite bad.
Riches might be worse.
Hey. Though. He invested some draft capital in Mayer last year, and the Raiders did not appreciate it. They screwed him over.
Oh, man, these are rough. Yeah, okay. I'm way higher on 24's Pitts Fant pair. I like Fant a lot as like a scumbag.
Yeah, I'm sort of snoozing on Fant a little bit there, but I did mark him as orange, which doesn't mean he's bad. Alex,
I even want to move that over. I want to move that up over Kelsey Henry, so I will. I'm going to move him all the way to 6 and bump Bronc down to 7. Suck it, Bronc. Okay.
Kelsey is going to prove that wrong. I'm very, very confident.
He might, but we're not talking. We are talking primarily 2024 production, but we're not talking exclusively 2024 production. And Kelsey Henry is definitely long in the tooth. Pitts Fant ain't. Pitts can't even smoke yet. He can't even buy cigarettes. So
yeah.
All right. So what do we have? All right. So Lou, you've got him. I like Lou better than you do. I like 24 better than you do.
We've both got Lou at 10.
We do. Oh shit! Look at that.
Yeah, 24. You're higher than me. So here, drop a 7 there on Bronc. Okay, so we both got Alex at number 1. Who's that? He's got Bowers, Kincaid, Sanat, good investment, Chig, yeah, you really spent on tight end with all of that draft capital you've accumulated, and it's gone well. I've got Decline at 2. You've got Sanj at 2. That's McBride, Ferguson over Hawk, Ingram, Njoku. You like the depth. Yeah, you've got a little more faith in Njoku than I do. I've got Boards at 3. You've got Boards at 3. I've got Bronc at 4. You've got Decline at 4, and you've got Bronc way down at 7. I've got Sanj at 5. You've got him up at 2. You've got BM Hunter at 5. I've got him at 6. You have 24 at 6. I've got 24 at 9. I've got Keith at 7. You've got him at 8. I've got Pack at 8. You've got him at 9. Lou, we've got it. Both got at 10. Rish, we both got 11. Mets, we both have at 12. Mets, I like what you're doing. You've definitely accumulated a lot of draft capital. Keep your eyes on the prize. This isn't going to be the year, but next year you've got a lot of picks. Do you care to vent on any of these trades before we do the final wrap up of your rankings here? If you look on the Rish, looks like the ticker tape from a Donald Trump trial here. It goes on forever and ever, but he gave up Deontay. He got a 24 second. I think that holds up. He gave up Pacheco for Gus, McLaurin, and Mooney. That's a damn good trade.
Wait, who
that was
who are we talking about?
Rish gave up Pacheco. He acquired Gus, McLaurin, and Mooney for Pacheco. So Sanj was hard up for a running back. And frankly, if Sanj didn't have a running back on that roster, this would have been a very different conversation about Sanj's team. He needed Pacheco. He got ARSB and Pacheco for Burks, Mingo, a first and a fourth. That is highway robbery.
Mets did?
No, Mets. Rish did. He gave Mets Burks, Mingo, a first and a fourth, and he got ARSB and Pacheco for it.
Right. I mean, that was the. We got some bad feedback on your end.
Sorry.
That was the trade that almost toppled the league. I mean, it was the cries for Kamish, override, intervene, please, were hot and heavy. Yeah, it was not good. But I think we've pretty much confirmed that Mets is not Riche. So,
or at the very least, he's playing both sides with vigor. The other one that really gets me is Mets gave up Rashad White for 2024 second. That is a bit of an oof.
Lou says Javon Baker needs some green text next to his name.
How are you looking in the Discord?
No, the live stream chat. Oh, you kids, you're funny. All right. Yeah. No, the trades are the trades, right? I mean.
Yeah. No. It's just fun to give these guys a hard time because
for sure.
There's just so much venom around trading, and I hope that as we mature as a community, we'll start to cool it a little bit on that. But now you got the hard part. You've got to go in and put up your actual rankings. I see that you've actually started there. You've got Boards at number 1. We both had he scored 17 cumulative points for both of us, the lowest score. Yeah. Although I had him tied with Bronc, and after a lot of debating and going back and forth, I moved Bronc up to number 1. I really wanted to have Boards at number 1, but
in a tie, you got to give it to the winning team.
Yeah, Bronc's wide receivers are better. That's what it comes down to.
Yep.
That's basically splitting hairs, but I'd love to see a Bronc Boards championship in this league.
Yeah, I think he's got Boards either needs a lot of good luck at wide receiver, or he's got to make some moves.
Which Boards admirably only had one trade that mattered in this league. He gave up James Cook and got Achane.
Which was I love that trade. That's a banger. But yeah, he'll have to decide if he really needs Zamir White's 280 grinding touches on his bench instead of a instead of a wide receiver 2.
Absolutely. If you can package whoever it is, Devonta, Godwin, Debo with a Zamir and get an actual wide receiver 1, that'll go a long way.
Wait, 24. I've got much higher. Pack.
Now, I did go through these. I didn't just go straight down by the scoring. Let's see. We both got Keith at number 3. You had him with where the hell are you, Keith? We both had him at exactly 21 cumulative ranking points. I had Pack at number 4 with 22. You had him at 25. And then I had you had 24 at number 5, which you have him at 21. I have him at 27. So, yeah, you definitely like 24 a lot more than I did.
And you like 24?
Yeah, I did. I was impressed with both 24 and Rish in this league. They did a pretty good job. And Metz is playing the same game, but he's playing a longer version of it. I'm really interested to see what he comes up with next year.
Okay,
I won't bother you too much because I know this part is actually the really difficult part.
Oh no, I'm sticking with the numbers. I know. There's, the tight end numbers shouldn't be weighted the same as like the wide receiver numbers, for example, because that's not as important. But
they're good. There's a couple of instances where they're a tie break because it's not easy to do.
Right.
Especially if you don't have like projections that you can be like, well, my projections say that this guy's going to score more points.
All right, Lou, I have it 33. How did Lou get to 10 when you had him at 38? Jesus Christ.
Right. I know. Well, like I said, it's subjective. I went through and decided that he's got Mahomes, Saquon, Mixon. He has pretty good starters. Hill, Azun. He has no depth at all. And Dalton Schultz, who I like. So, I mean, I went through and saw that the core of his starting lineup is actually pretty elite. He just is missing some big old pieces.
Nah, Lou, you're fucked.
Yeah, you are fucked, but you do have some good pieces. You probably are a seller. See what you can get from Mahomes this year.
So, obviously, yeah, Metz is not trying to win right now, but nevertheless, I'm not going to put him – I'm not going to rank him higher than anybody else who is trying to win. BM Hunter just went 12-2. I'm not going to put him at 12. I mean, that's too much.
Metz has 2 QBs. Metz has 2 quarterbacks.
He does. So does Decline. They're disgusting, but he has them.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, BM that's who we're talking. Yeah, Lou has only 1, but it is Mahomes. And then Decline, Stafford, Deshaun Watson. That is technically 2. That does add up to 2.
I mean, if I wanted to be strictly honest, I would move Reish and Sanj down because I don't think they could manage their way out of a wet paper bag, and I would move real players up. But setting aside competence, just looking at the raw roster potential here, I think this is broadly on target. Yeah, I would imagine Bronc is going to be back in the championship, barring. I mean, obvious. The caveat being, somebody is going to have the ammo to get very serious at the trade deadline if they are so inclined. I don't know if that's really Boards' style. I think he would generally rather stick with what he's got and let the chips fall where they may. Keith, though, Keith has shown that he will make a big buy to get over the top, and be in the championship. So probably like Keith Bronc or Keith Boards, maybe Bronc 24 in maybe Bronc Keith or Bronc Boards, maybe Bronc 24. And yeah, Pack, you can't sleep on Pack because he can definitely maximize whatever he has on hand, but there's a lot of guys like that in this league that can say that. Yeah, I'll say Pack has a better chance at getting there than 24, just because 24 is still a little green behind the ears.
Yeah, Cook Spears doesn't inspire a ton of confidence, even though he has pretty good wide receiver room, and his tight end room, he's got Pitts, he's got Fant, but it's not, there's questions there as well.
There are.
but it's strong at wide receiver. It's strong at quarterback. It's just there's some teams that are really, really, really strong at wide receiver in this league.
And it's folly to even rank too seriously teams what 24 has on hand, what Reach has on hand, when you know they've got at least a half dozen trades between now and the trade deadline, probably more. So
Yeah.
I mean, really, we're just talking about, okay, assuming that their team is worth approximately as much as it is now, what will they do? Yeah. So is it fair to say Bronc is the odds-on favorite to at least be in the championship game again in 2024?
Yes, for sure, for sure. I think Bronc, Boards, Keith, Pack, those are the teams I think I have the most confidence in. I think that should probably be the top four at the end of the season. Of course, trades could change all that. Injuries could change all that. One of these random guys, whoever it is, Ryan Flournoy is the next Puka Nacua. Maybe it could happen.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed for my Cowboys.
Hey, so let's say you've got Rish one spot below Alex. I've got Rish one spot. You've got Rish one spot above Alex. I've got Rish one spot below Alex. Let's look at that pair one more time real quick, just because Rish is asking in the chat. Hurts McCarthy versus Herbert, Stroud, Young. It's Rish, right?
What's the question?
Alex versus Rish. Who do we like more?
As a person?
Well, it's Alex, right?
I mean, I like Reach's roster, but I'm sorry, like Alex won 2 of these leagues last year. Reach didn't even fucking have a winning record in any of them. I know he'll say, "Oh, that was by design." Well, okay, let me see you actually win some games now. I got.
That's true. You just prove it. But Rish does only have 7 members of his original team left on this roster.
Right. I mean, he's got him and 24 are like the mad scientist and Mets in this league. They've got that mad scientist gene where I'm not sure that winning is the be all end all over just making the fun of making trades, which is fine, but you can easily trade your way out of your, you could trade your way into a roster that is holistically ready to contend top to bottom, and then trade yourself right back out of that roster state, like 24 did a couple of times over. So
yeah,
I don't know that Reach can really control himself enough to land on a team that can win and then leave it alone. He can't leave it alone. So Alex can, and that's why I just moved him up, because his roster might not be as strong because he hasn't ripped as many people off as Reach has, but he can pilot it.
I'm just looking through it again, and Reach, I do think that it would probably be fairer to describe this as, for me, as like a 7A, 7B situation, because you have some strong running backs with JT and Gus, but you have just like a laughable void of running back depth, and you gave up a lot of good running backs to get here. Your wide receivers are super deep because, but Alex is pretty good at wide receiver too, and he has depth. I think Devontae Walker is somebody I'm really interested in. And Jammo is definitely a breakout candidate this year. And then Alex's tight end room is just like the unquestioned best tight end room in this league. I think you two are really right on top of each other. And for the tiebreaker, and for me, it kind of came down to the tight end. I liked his tight end room enough, so I leaned his way. But it's more of an A-B situation than saying that Alex is definitely better than you.
Because oh, Jesus. Because of the fact that Sanj's so much of his roster value score came from tight end, I just dumped him all the way to 11th because he's good at quarterback, he's good at tight end, he's very iffy for me at running back and wide receiver, and I just don't trust him to run it all that well. So I just dumped him all the way down from like 5th or 6th to 11. I think I had him at 6. I just dumped him all the way to 11.
Sanj?
Yeah, Sanj.
This is a good running back room. I think you're wrong about this. I hope we come back after the season and see that this is probably one of the top 5 running back rooms if you look at cumulative scoring
Okay,
in this.
the moving Sanj down like I just did is not strictly about the roster itself. Yeah, I'm more iffy on the running backs than you are. My rankings are based on who is going to win the most games in 2024, and I think Sanj is probably going to win like 5 games.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this. We did kind of figure it out as we went. We tried to come up with a format to keep it a little more on focus and hopefully more detailed and thoughtful. It only took about an hour, so that's screaming fast for us, and I think we got a lot of content in. So in the Discord, let us know if you enjoyed it or thought it was dumb as hell, and maybe we'll do it this way for another league, or maybe we'll do it differently. Maybe we'll fold up the whole thing and quit.
All right, thanks, boys. Appreciate the views, the clicks.
See you on Discord.
Later, boys.